Hello, everybody, and welcome to the event review for the upcoming event Idle Heroes. This will be for the week of December the 27th, 2024. And we are just wrapping up the Christmas event. I hope those who celebrated had a Merry Christmas yesterday. I got to see my family. It was nice. But we're coming into the New Year's event because it's event season. We get a lot of these things. So let's go through it. To get started, it is an Imps Adventure week. Pretty basic one. There isn't a lot going on with it. And actually, not only is this the normal Imps with nothing special, but this is the old store, the one we haven't seen in several months now, with fairly bad ratios overall. So this is a little disappointing. The rest of the event's good, but this part is really nothing special at all. Don't go crazy on this. Don't invest in it other than if you get dice from other things, great. But it isn't worth doing on its own. Now, on the other hand, we get the Adventure of the Brave, and for those of you who've been playing for at least a year, you will remember this from previous New Year's, and actually the one before that as well, which is why this is Adventure of the Brave 3.0. But basically, the idea is the same as it's been in the other ones, for those of you who remember, and for those of you who don't. It's basically a mini RPG. It looks like an RPG. There isn't really much gameplay to it, but essentially for every 30 of these gold coins you get, you can go through one of these levels, and each one will get you 10 of the money, which is a little on the nose, to be honest, but that is the main currency for this week. So you get, as I say, 30 gold coins. And you get those, we'll go through it in a sec, but you can get a decent number of them. And that will get you the rewards. So you get to pick which of these four you want, and the ticket and the 10 bills are the same, but the scrolls or orbs or super wishing coins or cores. So take your pick. I wouldn't go for the super wishing coins, but the others are all pretty reasonable. Then this one, if it works like last time, and I assume it does, there's an 11% chance on each of these now and a 1% chance this guy. So if you roll this guy, great, you can move on faster. But if they don't roll, and almost all the time it won't, you're going to wait until the 10th one to get this. Then you're going to spend again 30 to get your 10 bills. These two levels are battles, and the way that works is every time you spend 3 coins, you can get 5 to 7 damage against the monster, which unfortunately is actually really bad if you do the math. It's very difficult to get up to a good enough roll that you get this done in 9 hits. 10 is going to be the normal, but it's pretty easy to fall down to 11. You just have to be even slightly below average, and it takes you 11 swings instead of 10. So it looks as though this one might be required to unlock. You don't get this right away, so if that's the case, then you got to fight it out. But if at all possible, use the flat 30 instead of the rolling. It is a little lame that I don't know exactly how this works. I remember it being weird and more convoluted than it looks last year, so yeah. Now, on this one, the battle mechanics are the same, but there is a difference in the prizes. This one gets you a festival skin, this one gets you 5 treasures. So, which of those you want, up to you. I'd probably go for this one in most cases, because they're giving these away a fair bit, but if you're short on skins, I would understand going for this one. Then here, you again, I'm not sure if this is random or choice. If it's a choice, don't take the green ones, because they are way more common than any of the others. But yeah, and then lastly, you get these. And these are the treasures. These are festival treasures for 2025. They are not part of the 2024 set. They are a New Year's set. And unfortunately, these are PvP treasures, so the rewards aren't going to be great, but fixed stats. And then these are swap tokens. We'll go through those in a second as well. But anyway, if you max out the event and you get everything, then you'll get a free reward of one of each of the treasures and 30 train tickets. And then if you high roll on these, or if you get a few extra coins, it looks like you can actually go slightly above max on the coins, unlike most events. So any extra coins can be spent here for a random one from this pile. It's mostly just a way to soak up any excess that isn't super valuable. It isn't something you should strive for, but if you high roll, great. Now, the way you spend those bills is actually exactly the same as the current week. There's no differences at all that I can see. So yeah, if you're playing the game right now, you'll know exactly how this looks. I won't go through it in detail. But then we get to some of the interesting things that are special to New Year's. This celebration commission is entirely free. In order to max it out, you need to spend 20,000 gems, and this is going to be really easy this week. We'll go through the gem ball in a sec. Do 10 awakenings, which is a little more expensive, but very attainable, and get 10 5-star tavern quests. So you may have to re-roll your tavern quests a little bit, depending. If you've got VIP and you're getting a ton of tavern quests a day, this might not be a problem for you. If you're not, then if you have any of the like higher level tavern tickets saved up, this would be a good time to use them. And if not, just keep re-rolling until you get 5 stars. They're not that rare. So you need 10 over the course of the week, so about 1.5 a day. And if you do that, that gets you your 40 points. That's worth a dozen train tickets, 40 gold coins, and one of each treasure, plus a few throw-ins, 10 star, 9 star, etc. So this is really nice. This is entirely free, fairly low investment, and gets you some pretty decent rewards. I'm quite happy with this. This part is the swap tokens I mentioned. Basically, you can get that with either 50 gems per coupon, or you get 200 for each time you go through here. So you're not going to get all the way to the bottom of this as a free-to-play player. You're going to have to either spend gems, like star gems, or money to get here. But if you do, then you get 200 of these tickets. Otherwise, it's 50 gems a pop. So 50 gems is not unreasonable, but it isn't worth like going crazy on it if you look at the cost here. So if you want to change a hero out, 50 tickets. You want to change a limited skin, it's 80. These are the like more common ones. The festival skins are 120. If it's legendary, it's 100 or 150 instead. You can change one flag into another for 240. You can change one mysterious artifact into another for 320, or an origin artifact. If it's a deific artifact, that's 640 because that's an origin and a mysterious. And then you can turn a normal orange artifact into a mysterious for 1,000. But this is where I was saying that just buying with gems doesn't make sense. That would be 50 gems per coupon, 1,000 coupons, that's 50,000 gems. 50,000 is not worth it for an artifact these days. 5 years ago, this would have been a pretty good deal. These days, So if you go through the Trial of the Brave like 3-4 times, you just need a few extras. You might as well do that. If you don't have any swaps you need to do, then this would be a good place to invest 10,000 gems in order to get a mysterious artifact. But it's not worth 50. Here we have the Q&A, and this is basically trivia about the game. There will, I'm sure, be videos up on people like Barry and MK who go through the event in detail and show you the answers to all the trivia. Basically, it's not super punitive. If you don't know game trivia that well, then I'd just make sure to use your attempts every day. You'll get through it. You'll know some of them, and some of them will be... You'll figure it out from having tried and failed and doing it again. Or just look up the answer, ask on Discord, whatever. But when you get through all of the trivia, that gets you a total of 40 coins. So 40 here, plus another 40 here. That's 80 coins for free. That actually is pretty reasonable for this. There's no like big spend a bunch of gems event this week. There is with a lot of big events. It's just these two. So it's actually going to be pretty easy on your gems until we get to this part. Every New Year's, there is a mall. The mall is good, but expensive. So you can spend 1 billion gold here to get Cloud Island materials, 900,000 of each. You can spend 1.5 billion to get these various materials. You know, for a lot of players, you might be maxed out on your guild tech, and this is just basically guild train tickets, so not that valuable. For the sort of person who's maxed it out, at least. You'll also have a lot of guild train tickets as well. These ones you can max out as well, but these ones are pretty much always useful. So most people will at least be interested in this. Obviously, don't do this unless you have the gold. I'd say these guys are probably more valuable for most players than these guys. And it's 2.5 billion gold to max this out. That's a fair bit for a lot of people. If you're late game, great, it's nothing either, but yeah. Then we get to the gem mall, and this is basically buying food. So you can spend a total of 45,000 gems on 6-star puppets. You can spend 21,000 gems on 9-star puppets and 32,000 gems on 10-star puppets. So that is a whopping 98,000 gems if you want to max this out. Now, again, if you're sending on a couple 100,000 gems, great. Go for it. Food's useful. Like, I'm actually surprised how much food matters because I've been playing for 1.5 years and I'm still short on food. This is really going to actually help my account a lot in a way that I would not have thought it would at this point in the game. But, I mean, Tree 5 heroes eat a lot of 10 stars. So this is going to be good for a lot of people. Invest what you've got. Like, make sure you're saving enough gold to max out a big event. Chinese New Year's in a few weeks after this, and that is probably going to take up a good 30, 40, 50, maybe even 100,000 gems. We don't know until it gets here, and then it's usually too late to stock up. So don't spend yourself broke on this. I'd keep probably at least 30 or so minimum. And beyond that, if you've got the need for food, this can be good. I'm going to be spending a fair bit here because I'm sitting on like 130,000 and yeah, I need food. Then we also get the relic mall. This is the one time of the year where your ratio for spending relics is better than 400 per artifact. And artifacts are almost always what you should be spending this on. So this is a very good chance to cash in extra relics. A lot of people save up their relics all year for this, and I'm one of them. I've got over 2,000, I think, at this point. So yeah, all the usual artifacts at 350 instead of at 400, or you can get flags at 260 instead of 300. So it's not a huge discount, but it's the best ratio you're going to get all year. So I'd spend yourself dry on relics at this point. It isn't going to get better than this. It hasn't in several years, or possibly ever. So this is a great time to spend your relics. No need to hold back on those. They're not really used for any other events. Then we get into the treasure set. This is, again, the 2025 annual treasures. So we're going to be seeing these all year. And these are, as I said, PvP treasures. So, and other than that, it's standard event. You get every $6 you spend is worth an extra train ticket. You can theoretically spend $4,200 if you're a crazy person. And yeah, we'll see the exact stats on these later. There's also a relay, and this is, again, as we've been seeing in all the big events lately, this is a $400 relay. This level's free, so an extra 5 coins here is great, and a core. And then you go through the rest. Now, unlike a lot of these relays, there's nothing special at the $130 level that we're used to seeing, where you get that, spend your 2,000 scrolls, like the one this week where you spend 2,000 scrolls and you get mountains of Destiny material. There isn't anything like that this time around. So it's actually a little bit lame. I probably wouldn't go in on this one unless you're going to max out the event and you want all the top rewards. But this isn't a great week for spenders. This is sort of the anti-Black Friday. Like, they'll take your money. Like, they will offer you things for money, obviously. But there isn't all that much going on here that most people would care about. So if you're the sort of person who maxes out every event, great. If you're the sort of person who wants to max out one event a year, this is not the one for you. Save up for Chinese New Year anniversary or something. Or go big on Christmas while it's still active. You got another, as I say this, about another 10 hours. So yeah, there's that. Then we're almost done, I promise. But there's these celebration gift cards. These are every day for 15 days. So that is better than usual. A lot of the cards are 7-day cards, but these are 15-day cards. And this one I believe is $20 and this one is $15. So they're all right value. They're nothing really crazy. I don't think I'd go for these personally, but they're not terrible. And then last but not least, we get into the value packs. So again, fairly standard event value packs because this is an Imps week. There's no scrolls or orbs or anything, but the sort of person who buys a lot of value packs is going to have enough of those anyway. It does have train tickets, which is important, and it's got your coins for the event. So overall, I think this event is not a great one for spenders, but it's actually pretty good for free-to-play for people who've got a lot of resources saved up in their gold and their gems and their relics. This part of the event is great, and it only comes along once a year most years. We haven't seen this since New Year's 2024. So this part is great. The trivia is free coins. The celebration commission here is free coins, free train tickets. This is all good. I wouldn't spend for most people, or maybe spend a few bucks in order to get because if you add up the total of free to play, you get 85 coins, and obviously it's 90 to get to the next tier. So if you want that next tier, then sure, spend $5 in the relay. That's fine. But I don't think this is one to go crazy on. I think this is one to, as much as it's a big event, it's not really a spender's big event. It's more of a free to play, people who've saved up kind of big event. So yeah, that's about all there is to it. The Chinese, again, as usual, only really has the price confirmations, which, in a spirit of holiday charity, I should actually praise DH for this. I know I pan them a lot, but I should praise them for this. They've started including a lot of the details in the English that you used to have to go to the Chinese for. So previously, the extra train tickets you get for spending money, those would not have been mentioned in English. You'd have to go to the Chinese to see this. Often, what does the treasure give you would be in the Chinese and not the English. A lot of that stuff has historically only been available in the Chinese, and they've started adding it to the English this year. So credit where it's due. DH has done good on that front. They still got their issues. I still think poorly of them in many places, but this is a good change. Anyway, that's what I've got to say for this one. If I'm not recommending spending, there's no spending paths to analyze or anything like that. The mall is actually the most interesting part of the event. So figure out what gems and gold and relics you've got spare. Figure out what you want to spend them on and what your account needs. Go crazy. Like, this is a time to blow all of your savings other than the gems and gold you need to keep your account going through future events. So yeah, go crazy, have fun. New Year's party. Everyone's invited to, well, not my house, but go somewhere, have fun. And I will talk to you in 2025. Thank you very much and have a good day. Bye.